got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town.
Welcome to MTG 3, and today we have a great episode for you. First, I want to say, hey, thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful day, you're safe where you're at, and things go as lightly as they can. Because this world is going crazy right now, and I hope you are safe. Now, for today's episode, we are talking about 3 Bant Commanders that I love, that I personally have in my collection. 3 cards that are just completely amazing. And we start right now.
Round 1.
The first Bant Commander on this list is an amazing commander. This is a Planeswalker from a Precon from the Enchantments deck. Yes. And this card is nuts. Like, people didn't know how to play with this card except for maybe toggling with one of its abilities, but this card is secretly a control build commander. And what are we talking about? We are talking about Estrid the Mask. Astrid the Mask costs 1 generic, a green, white, and blue. Legendary Planeswalker, Astrid, enters the battlefield with 3 loyalty counters. Her first ability is +2, untap each enchanted permanent you control. Her second ability is -1, create a white aura enchantment token named Mask attached to another target permanent. The token has enchant permanent, has totem armor. Her last ability is -7, mill 7 cards, return all non-aura enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield, then do the same for aura cards. Astrid the Mask can be your commander. Astrid the Mask, yo! Astrid the Mask! Astrid the Mask is an exciting Planeswalker for a commander. People like to build around the ability to untap enchanted permanents, which is a solid design, but in a circle of things, she's more for that control enchantment style deck. Yes. For example, she's great with those token strategies for enchantments, like Luminarch Ascension, Sigil the Empty Throne, Hallowed Haunting. Great cards for enchantment style decks. Those tokens build up and add up to the game. But that goes with the control style too, because you need to protect these enchantments. But also for the token strategy, you have Parallel Lives and Anointed Possession, which are enchantments that double your tokens. These cards are nuts. Then you have your basic Pillar Fort cards like Sphere of Safety, Propaganda, and Ghostly Prison to help you with protecting yourself from attackers that are enchantments. And the reason why I keep saying that are enchantments is because, as you know and I know, enchantment decks feed off enchantress effects like Eidolon Blossoms, Setessan Champion, Sithis Starvest Hand, Satyr Enchanter, and Enchantress's Presence are great budget options to draw cards off your enchantments coming into play. For real. One of my favorite things about enchantments is you have cards like Copy Enchantment, Mirror Maid, and Astrid's Invocation to copy other enchantments that you control to double up on effects. And one of my favorite cute combos to pull off in this deck is Privileged Position and Copy Enchantment, the Privileged Position. Yes, given everything hexproofed is nuts. With that, leads us to the next card on the list.
Round 2.
The next commander on this list comes from a Precon. You know this card, I know this card. This card is absolutely busted with Cheerio style decks, but this commander is perfect for creature-based ETB decks. And if you don't know by now, by all the stuff I said and the hints I gave, we are talking about Chulane, Teller of Tales. Chulane, Teller of Tales costs a green, white, and blue, and 2 generic mana. He's a legendary creature, human druid. he has Vigilance, and whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card. Then you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. And he also has pay 3 generic, tap, return target creature you control to its owner's hand. He's a 2/4 creature. Chulane is a creature-based deck that loves different strategies dealing with creatures entering the battlefield. Chulane is, oh my lord, pretty nuts, right? And also notice, he's not on the top of this list of my favorite commanders. I wonder who the number 1 card can be, right? Chulane is amazing with the War Shards. War Shards fits in this deck very well. Since you're playing a lot of creatures in your deck, War Shards is going to destroy a lot of enchantments, which goes against our first commander that we talked about, right? Chulane falls into the landfall section with Avengers, Zendikar, Rampaging Baloth, and so on and so forth. Very nutty. A very crazy style of a commander to have these cards, right? You can just fit these 2 cards into the deck and not be running a landfall deck completely, and they will still be bonkers with Chulane. Running cards like Euro Titan in this deck is amazing. Euro Titan of Nature's Wrath, to be more specific. Momer Vig Simic Visionary is epic in this deck, especially for running Simic creatures as your main style creatures like I am in this deck. Momer Vig tutors like crazy and goes off those ETB triggers as well. It is insane. Running a card like Kinnan Bonder Prodigy is just nuts. Just crazy. In this deck, since Chulane is a creature style deck, Kinnan is going to push a lot for this deck. Also running 2 cards that are great in Commander in general that are Simic, but running cards like AC Tyrant of Gyra Strait and Como Cosmos Serpent are just nuts. Not only are you getting the triggers from them entering the battlefield, you're getting the tokens, you're getting the draws, you're getting the landfall effects. It is nuts. It is crazy. Yes. Then the last 2 cards of this deck I want to focus on that are really solid for Chulane is Mystic Snake and Frilled Mystic. Yes, these 2 counter spells on a stick creatures are good for Chulane. Basically, to counter a spell and draw a card with Chulane on the battlefield is nuts, and to potentially ramp if you have land in your hand to throw into play is amazing. And with that, we go to the number 3 card.
Round 3.
The number 3 commander that is Bant colors, my favorite Bant commander ever. The first deck I ever built for Commander was this dude. But what are we talking about? This is my favorite commander. He needs no introduction. You know him. We are talking about Rafiq of the Mini. Rafiq of the Mini costs a generic, a green, white, and blue. He's a human knight, a 3/3. He has Exalted. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, that creature gets +1/+1 until a turn. And whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gains double strike until a turn. This card, this commander is nuts. Like, not only is this card amazing as he is, you can build control decks out of him. I don't think that's really his niche, but some people do. I find him very aggro. In my commander deck with Rafiq, it is very possible to defeat an opponent by turn 6. It doesn't always happen that way, but like 60% of the time, it does happen that way. And 60% is a high average for a casual commander for winning, right? But by winning, I mean 60% he kills one opponent. So in a 4-way group, you gotta focus one person with my deck. My deck works off 2-drops like Ethercast Knight, Aven Squire, Noble Hierarch, other things like that with exalted bonuses. This deck definitely loves cards like Bone Splitter, Eater of Virtue, Darksteel Axe. These cards are golden in this deck. I'd like to bring attention to this. These 2 cards I'm about to mention do the same thing, but also in this style of a deck, they're very aggro, very powerful, because the point is to play creatures early game as possible, like 1-drop, 2-drop creatures, and build one up or build your army up with Exalted, right? So these two cards I'm about to talk about are very strong in a Rafiq deck. I'm talking about One with the Wind and Spectral Flight. These cards are crazy. See, you notice that this episode's a little different than my normal episodes because I'm digging into why these commanders are good in my top 3. Rafiq the Mini is a very budget-based commander, but there is money you can throw at it to get cards like Replenish. Replenish is amazing. Or getting different cards that do the same thing as Replenish or near the same thing is effective. However you build Rafiq, I hope you have great success with it. All I know is my Rafiq deck is pretty solid, and I'll even put the link to all the decks in the description below so you can view them for yourself. They're very solid, they're very good. About all my decks are 70% competitive and higher. Yes, Tortoise is an enchantment player by Crazy Heart. Yes, my Crazy Heart loves enchantments. So running enchantment auras to beef up your creature and running cards like Aetherial Armor and all that glitters is insane. It is insane. Yes. Haha. Yes. And with that, we go on to the end step.
You listening? Damn.
Go, 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 go.
To answer last week's question, what is your favorite card from the Warhammer 40k decks? We have Prime 406 Games answering. I like all the Soul Rings, methinks. Yes, all the Soul Rings in each deck are individually arted to the style of the deck. The art is specific to the deck itself for each Soul Ring they are coming out with. It is amazing. Thank you, Prime, for answering last week's question. You got the question of the day. Hooray! For today's question of the week, I want to know, who is your favorite Bant Commander? Put your silly, ridiculous, and serious answers in the comment section. And next week, we'll see who has the best answer on the video. And until next time, my friends, please like, comment, subscribe, and play wise, my friends.
I totally want to thank you for watching today's video. I really appreciate it, 100%. Like this video as if it's your favorite kind of pizza, dude. And if you wouldn't mind, consider smashing that subscribe button and hit that bell for notifications. Every one of these things you do helps the channel out a lot.
I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly, thoughts jumbled around, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative. I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm about to go off, I won't let them win, I'll take a stab. I wanna chase the bag, I wanna weigh, I can change all the things I lack. I gotta face the facts, I gotta